Now, how many of these are there?
Some idiocy. I just don't know what to say about it, really. I don't know what to conceive of the fact that almost 100 people have watched my little show. It's phenomenal. Um, I told the guys at the game group that almost 100 people had watched my show, and they were saying, watch you, Ben? Listen to you droning on? You're funny guys. And I was saying, oh yeah, they're watching my show. They're watching Cast the Bones. And they're flinging in a few dollars to help me out. And I gotta say, this is the best I felt in a long time. I've had a few difficulties and a few things going on in my life, but I'm feeling good, and that's because of you. So I want to give you a big shout out, everyone out there. I want to talk to you about a couple of games this episode that I think are really special. I think they're really worth checking out. Again, just a quick overview, just to give you some recommendations. But I hope you do check these ones out. Really cool new games that should be on your list. So let's take a check right now of what I'm talking about as we continue to Cast the Bones. Escape from 100 Million BC is a brilliant game designed by Kevin Wilson, who designed one of my favorite games of all time, Android. Now, this game is really sweet. It's very similar to things like Eldritch Horror. I mean, it's really just an adventure game where you take a number of characters and move around the dinosaur times, trying to reassemble your time machine. You crash landed, you see, and bits of your time machine are everywhere, and you've also scattered all sorts of objects around the place. You've just made one hell of a mess. You've been really, really silly. You get to play a character with special abilities and certain attributes, and you make little skill checks, simple dice rolls, exploding dice, which is another thing that I really love. And the items in the game, they're super crazy. They're super crazy. The important things to point out about the items too is, and I think this is really cool, is that when you leave these items behind, if you don't manage to collect all of these objects and tech and items, they cause paradoxes. That's the number down the bottom of the card. And those paradoxes really count negatively at the end of the game. They can end the game early, and they can also make your success a lot less successful than you'd hoped. The game is all about exploration, and you move around the map by revealing hex tiles. Those hex tiles have encounters on them, events on them, they spawn creatures. It's really cool, very exciting. The events, again, very interesting, very thematic, and very, very simple roles. This one, everything's explained on the card. Very, very simple game to play. Very, very exciting game to play. The enemies in the game are dinosaurs primarily, and dinosaurs are bad news. Some of them just, very thematic, again, just spring out and disappear. Other ones wander around the map and really cause problems for you. You have to drive them off. You have to, and you can kill them. That is a thing you can do, but, you're always better not doing that. You're always better scaring them away. There's also creatures, dinosaurs that aren't the meat-eating ones, so those ones are less trouble. The cool thing is that when your time machine crash landed, it opened up portals and famous figures come through them. That's crazy. And you can take them on board as companions. They give you help. But also, if they don't survive, they cause paradoxes, And so you have a lot of these challenging moments where you think, should I rescue this Chinese peasant? I mean, they don't really cause too much of a paradox if they vanish because they don't count. But Abe Lincoln, I need to save him. It's a real moral dilemma too. I mean, it's a moral dilemma, right? Wonderful game. Gammarauders is a game that I dream about. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm dreaming about Gammarauders. They're monsters. They're machines. They're here. Gammarauders is a game I've always owned, but I can't really remember playing it. I definitely did. and I definitely enjoyed it. But for some reason, it's one of those games that I just can't remember if it's any good or not. I have vague memories of the creatures and vague memories of attaching weapons to my weird bears and monkeys and stuff. I have vague memories of sitting with other people and playing this game, but I just can't remember any specifics. I know that there's certain factions you can take control of, and I know that I always went the men in black. But I can't remember if I was any good at the game, and I can't remember if I won or if I lost, or really what my opinion is. And Gammarauders just gives me a weird feeling inside when I look at it. I kind of don't want to play it again now that I'm grown, because I wonder if it'll give me some strange deja vu or some kind of flashback. I do love taking it out and looking at it, though. There's something about the graphic design of the game that just I find very, very pleasing and almost sinister. Even though it pleases me, it's sinister. I mean, look at the game board when you assemble it. It looks like, I don't know. It looks like some kind of malfunction in your cerebral cortex. I don't know. Gammarauders just is weird. Now, I'm going to be featuring a whole lot of old games as time goes on in this show. I think it's important to dip into the past and have a look at the past of board gaming too, and tabletop gaming. You know, there was a time when games were viewed as kind of dangerous. I'm going to look into that a little further down the line too. I'm going to talk about the reaction to Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid. Because I don't know if you know this, but when I was a kid playing D&D, it was viewed as a dangerous thing, like you were dabbling with evil, So I think it's important that we're going to take a look at that too down the line, and hopefully, we'll dig into the roots of gaming, and it makes things feel a little bit cooler too, doesn't it? When there's that dark side involved. So anyway. Let's look at what else I'm talking about here as we continue to cast the bones.
Britain, the United Kingdom, an island 700 miles long, 200 miles wide, separated from Europe by the English Channel.
Why do we play games? Why do we play games? I think it's because we need to play. I work all week. I work all week, and my job is a high-pressure job. My job is dealing with a nuclear arsenal. Let's be honest. Fundamentally, that's what it is. And it's a high-stress job in a high-stress place, and everything is real buttoned down. And so when I'm not at work, I have to let loose and have a little bit of fun. And I think play is incredibly important. I think play is one of the fundamental things of the human experience. Me and my wife, not so long ago, we would always make sure we remembered to play and have fun. Our life was not all work. There was a lot of play there, and we would have that fun together, and we would make that a big part of our week. That was not anything that was negotiable. We had to play. And I think that when you do play, when you have a culture of play, I think it makes for a happier, healthier individual. That's why I think it's crazy when people look at you in a strange way because you play board games or even video games as an adult. Some people are like, wow, you're wasting your time. And no, you're not wasting your time. These are not pointless pursuits. These are pursuits that you need to be a fully rounded individual, because we're all really still kids, aren't we? I think at our core, we're all still children. I don't have any children of my own, but I certainly am still very, very in touch with the child that's within me. I'm still very in touch with the child that I used to be and still am. And I'm sure if I did have kids, I would have had a real strong connection with them and made sure that they kept play at the core of their human experience. I can't imagine a world without play. I can't imagine a world where we wouldn't just sit down and get together and have fun together just because we want to. I have to say I really love living in the UK. It's an amazing place. It's a very specific. I thought I heard something there. I could have sworn that I heard a baby. Sorry, it's a wonderful place to live, a beautiful place to live, and I just love being in this country, and I love getting to know, grokking the system, as we might say. I love to grok the British personality and the UK thing and the Scotland thing. I love to grok that and work out how it will all work. Life needs rules. Life needs rules. Let's continue to cast the bones. I was worried when I saw the packaging of laser Ryderz, which blows me away. I'm a child of the 80s, so this VHS box set style just blows me away. But I was worried, hey, this might be all style and no substance. But let me tell you, this game is an absolute blast. Basically, this game is Tron. The Tron light cycle segment, man, that's what this is. And you have all your little pieces of your little light trail that you leave behind your vehicle. And you just have to lay them out on the table, connecting them one by one, choosing your speed, choosing which gear your vehicle's going to be in, and laying that trail down. And you have to lay that trail down by eye. You have to choose the right piece and lay it down by eye. You're not allowed to measure. And the point of the game is you have to hit these objectives and collect them. It's as simple as that. Flip them to your color. And you wouldn't believe how difficult it is to judge which piece to use at which time. That's where all the fun of the game comes from, because you're trying not to crash into other players. You're trying to hit the objectives right on. When you take a corner, you have to roll a die. The faster you go, the more chance there is of you spinning out or something, okay? There's a little bit of risk reward in it, but man, the main thing in this game is just how difficult it is to judge, how difficult it is to just believe your eyes and put down the right piece, man. But I'll tell you, you have to play this game. I think it's a hell of a lot of fun. Special abilities too, the whole package. Get it. Love it. I want to thank you all for tuning in again to watch Cast the Bones. I say tuning in like like I'm broadcasting across the airwaves, which I'm not yet. Not yet. I want to thank you all for clicking to watch this little show, and like I said, I just feel in a great mood, and I want to give a shout out to I got sent a prototype in the mail for a board game that someone's designing called The Lord of Blank Faces, which is a
Back.
board game that someone's designing called The Lord of Blank Faces, which is a cool title. And I got sent that in the post. We set it up, gave the dude my address. He sent out the thing, and I can't wait to try it. I've got it through the room there. I'm gonna open that sucker up and give it a go and see what it's all about. I can't wait. And if anybody else wants to send any prototypes or anything for me to look at, I'm happy. But first on the list is The Lord of Blank Faces, and it looks weird. I can't wait to take a look. Listen, everybody, thanks so much for watching Cast the Bones. Tell me what you've been playing. You'll catch me through the month as I drop some more great board game and news and reviews for you. Love to you. Love to my darling as always. And I'll see you next time. No. As we continue to cast the bones. I hope all this was in focus, or that'll be in the bloopers. Okay. Hey, I thought it might be quite funny for you to see some bloopers. I put some bloopers in for you to laugh at, just to give you some laughs. Hey, good folks. My name's Ben Eddings, and you're watching Cast the Bones. Episode 2. Just checking we were taping. That's one for the outtakes. Hey, folks. I just wanted you to watch. Hey, God damn it. Okay. Man. Stupid idiot.